Om Dakshinasya Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Smarya Guru Parampara Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaran Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः परिज्ञानाश्रम श्रीगुरुशङ्कर परिज्ञानाश्रम शङ्कर सद्गुरु केशववामन कृष्ण पाण्डुरङ्ग आनन्द परिज्ञान गुरु सद्यो जात शङ्कर सद्गुरु गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वेदान्तडिण्डिमास्तत्त्वम् एकम् उद्घोषयन्ति यत् आस्तां पुरस्तात् तत्तेजः दक्षिणामूर्तिसन्निधम्। So, as I said in the last session, in the last about 4 sets of 3 verses each, we saw that there is one consciousness, one existence, and one fullness or purnatvam or ananda that is there as the adhishtanam of the Vyashti Panchakoshas also and the Samashti Panchabhutas also. Why has it taken Panchabhutas? Because to go with the Pancha, Pancha Koshas, so to keep up with it, he divides the Samashti into Panchabhutas because ultimately it is the Panchabhutas or 5 elements which are going to make up for this Panchabhautika Prapancha. So therefore, he said that whatever chit, that is satta, spurti and priti, that is there behind the Vyashti, Panchakosha, Anatma is nothing but this Atma Chaitanyam. Then similarly, whatever satta, spurti and priti or anandam that is there as an adhishtanam of the Panchabhautika Prapancha, Samashti Prapancha is also that Brahman. And he made it very clear that Atma and that Brahman which you are talking about are one and the same. It is the same existence in the Vyashti as an adhishtanam of the Vyashti Panchakoshas. It is the same existence as an adhishtanam of the Panchabhautika Prapancha. Similarly, same consciousness. Similarly, the same Purnatvam or Anantatvam. So what is the meaning of it? It means that there is one and only without a second. There is one thing, absolutely one thing, nothing more than one thing. Ekameva advitiya atma, ekameva advitiya brahma. There is one and only without a second. And that consciousness, existence, and ananda or infinity or purnatvam, whatever you call it, is nothing but this Atma Brahman, which is the Adhishtana Rupa, Adhishtanas of both. That means whatever is there in this Jagat, It exists in this Atma Brahman. Whatever is there, including this body mind sense complex, whatever is there in this universe is nothing other than this existence and consciousness. That is what the author has been trying to tell us till the 62nd verse. He talked about the same thing. Okay, sorry, 63rd verse, which we did in the last session. Now we have already come to the 64th verse last time, but then he talks about the Nama Rupas. What about the Nama Rupas? The next two verses, the 64th verse and the 65th verse, are going to talk about the status of Anatma Nama Rupa. What is this Nama Rupa? We find that even in this body mind sense complex Anatma, the Pancha Kosha Anatma, names and forms, it is nothing but that, isn't it? There are multiple names and forms in this one Sthula Sharira. Multiple names, no forms, we can't see the forms, multiple names to various parts of Sukshma Sharira. Karana Sharira, of course, we are not concerned because we are not, it is only available in deep sleep. So we are not really concerned about it in our two other main avasthas, Jagrat Avastha and Swapna Avastha. We are not concerned about that because it's really not coming into play directly like the Sthula Sharira and the Sukshma Sharira. So what is it that we are seeing here? He says, Nama and Rupa are different. In this particular Vyashti, Atma, whatever this Nama Rupa exists, whatever Nama Rupa is existing in the form of this Sthula Sharira and Sukshma Sharira, that Nama Rupa definitely is different as far as Brahman is concerned. The whole universe is the Nama Rupa for this Brahman. It's nothing but this Nama Rupa means how many names, how many forms. This whole universe contains, or it is full of millions of names and forms. Millions of names and forms. So, in what way, how can you say that this Jiva and Brahma are one and the same when there are so many names and forms? There are so many variations. There are so many varieties when it comes to Atma, and also when it comes to this, in Brahman. Atma, Brahman, you say one and the same. But then when it comes to the various names and forms, there are so many names and forms. This Atma, which is the Sakshi Chaitanyam of this Sthula Sharira and Sukshma Sharira, this Sthula Sukshma Sharira themselves, both of them are full of names and forms, and the whole universe is also full of names and forms. How can you say that this Jiva and Brahma are one and the same? How can the Jiva be the same as Brahma? Because the Jiva has various different names and forms, and the Brahman also has so many. So, how can you say that both are one and the same? So, with that, the 64th verse said, we have done this last session, but I thought I should do it again in combination with the 65th verse, because the 64th and the 65th verse are specifically talking about how Nama Rupas don't matter when we come to Jiva Brahma Aikyam. Nama Rupas do not define Atma or Brahman. Nama Rupas are totally mithya. Nama Rupas are merely Vacharambanam Vikaro Namadheyam. The truth is Atma Brahman. Multiple names and forms are mere appearances in this Atma Brahman. Therefore, any number of names and forms in the Jiva, any number of names and forms in the Samashti Prapancha do not affect Atma Brahman at all. Ultimately, Atma, that is Jiva, the Swarupam of Jiva is this Atma, and this Brahman is the Swarupam of this entire universe. When you say Jiva Brahma Aikya or Jiva Ishvara Aikyam, it does not mean with regards to the names and forms. Names and forms belong to the Upadhi. The Upadhi is Mithya. The names and forms are Mithya. What is the meaning of Mithya? The names and forms are only for the sake of Vyavaharika. It's a Vyavaharika reality. It's an experiential reality. We have seen in Vedanta that there are three types of realities talked about. Now you may say, reality is reality. How can you say that there are three types of reality? We say, Vedanta says, and even in our colloquial thing also, absolute reality is the one which is so absolute that it is not changed by anything. It does not get affected by anything. It does not get influenced by anything. That is what is called as the absolute reality. Then we have what is called as a experiential reality or a relative reality. It is there. There is no doubt that it is there. It is experienced, but it is not the absolute truth. It's not the absolute reality. It is only an experiential reality. Then we have got another reality, okay, where it is a very, very personal projection of the so called reality. I don't know what name you call it in English, but these three can be talked as Paramarthika Satyam, absolute reality, which is not affected by anything, which is not changed by anything. The presence of any number of things do not affect this. This is called as the absolute reality or Paramarthika Satyam. Then we have the relative or experiential reality, what is called as the Vyavaharika Satyam. What is the meaning of Vyavaharika Satyam? It means that, yes, I can see a solid thing. It's my experience. I cannot deny that experience. But that experience is not the real truth. Now, let us take these two realities only and see. I have discussed any number of times this, but then since we have enough time, I thought we could just, go into this because it's a niddhidhyasana grantha. So every time we are experiencing something, let us be aware what kind of a reality are we experiencing. Anything which is experienced is a experiential reality. It is not the absolute reality. For example, the absolute reality is that the sun does not rise or set. That's the absolute reality. The sun is where it is. It is the center of our solar system. Our whole solar system may go round another bigger star, maybe. But in our solar system, the sun is stationary, not moving. Fine. Whereas, what is my experience? The sun is rising, the sun is setting. And all our vyavaharas are based on sunrise and sunset, isn't it? We try to fix muhurtas for auspicious, things or auspicious events based on sunrise. Sunrise and sunset are, for AM and PM and this and that for all our activities, isn't it? So, sunrise and sunset really do not exist. Sun is not moving is the absolute reality. But the experiential reality is that I can, all of us, not only me, the entire universe, the living beings can see, can experience the sun rising and setting. Even the birds, the animals, whether they know or not, when the sun rises, they get up and start their activities. When the sun sets, they all go back into their respective nests and, their respective homes and rest. Even these understand. That means what? Sunrise, sunset is an experiential reality, Vyavaharika Satyam, but it is not the absolute reality. Same thing, you can take it as flat earth and round earth. We all know that the absolute reality is not flat earth, it is round earth, but I'm solidly experiencing traveling hundreds, thousands of kilometers on the flat earth, going from one place to other place. So what is my reality here? What is the experiential reality of the entire world? That the earth is flat. But is it really the fact? Is it the paramarthika? Is it the absolute reality? No, it's not the absolute reality. So this is what is called as the absolute reality or paramarthika satyam. Then we have what is called as a vyavaharika satyam. Then our Vedanta also talks about a pratibhasika satyam. Pratibhasika, that which is only individual to me, a truth which is individual to me, pratibhasika, which nobody else can see. Nobody else can do any transaction with that. Like at least Vyavaharika Satyam, sunlight, sunrise, sunset, something, all of us agree, all of us do Vyavahara with that, though it is not absolute reality. Whereas there is something called as a personally projected reality. For me, it is real. It is real for me. But really speaking, it is neither absolute reality nor is it experiential reality. So neither is it Paramarthika Satyam nor is it Vyavaharika Satyam. It is called as the Pratibhasika Satyam. That is, I literally project something which is not there for myself and I see one thing as the other. For example, my dream, my own dream. Nobody else experiences my dream, correct? But for me, my dream is real. Not only real, I do lot of vyavaharas also in my dream. Okay? And even our scriptures, Vedanta says that even in dream, we can work out some of our prarabdhas. It is said that. In dream also, dream experiences also, some of our prarabdhas are worked out in the dream state also. So dream is a pratibhasika satyam, correct? Let us take another pratibhasika satyam. It's not even vyavaharikam. Mirage water. We are going somewhere on a hot day, even on the road we can see sometimes, or in a desert, we see as though there is water on the sand. Fine. But really speaking, what? Is the water really there? It's not even an experiential reality in the sense that there is no water, nothing, but it is as though it is a projected reality. It is a pratibhasika satyam. When I'm walking, I see a rope and I mistake it for a snake. It is pratibhasika reality. For me, it is real, but really it is not there. It is not even an experiential reality for somebody else. Somebody else may not see that. But for me, seeing a snake on a rope is purely an individual projection of a rope on that snake. And it is my personal experience, which is Pratibhasika Satyam. Fine. See, many times there are certain mental illnesses where people start hearing noises, hearing voices. People start seeing things. We call them hallucinations. I can say to somebody else, oh, it's a hallucination. Really, it is not that. I can't see it. Correct? But for that person, it is real. That person who is undergoing these hallucinations, it is real. Somebody is coming and singing in his ears. It's real for him. I say, I'm there. He says, see, I can hear somebody singing to me. I say, I can't hear it. But that doesn't mean that he is wrong. It is Pratibhasika Satyam. Every hallucination, every delusion that an individual feels is a Pratibhasika Satyam. It is neither Paramarthika Satyam nor is it a Vyavaharika Satyam, but purely an individual experience of a particular situation which is very true at that time. Very, very true. We say psychosomatic disorders. Many people start having symptoms which are really not there. They start experiencing illnesses which are really not there. And the doctors can vouch for it, saying that no, it is not there. But the patient feels it. They feel that. They feel all those symptoms. If you tell them, no, it is not true, it is your imagination, they will not accept it. That's what is called as the Pratibhasika Satyam. Now, the Nama Rupas, where do they belong? A Nama Rupa, for example, there is a pot here or a tree here, okay? It is not absolute reality because it was not there before. It will not be there later. Something which is there in the middle which has appeared. Fine. So it's not an absolute reality. But hundreds of us are experiencing that tree. It's an experience. It's an experiential reality for many of us. Vyavaharika Satyam. We do Vyavahara with that also. Can you call it as Pratibhasika Satyam? No. If only I see that tree and nobody else sees that tree, then can call it a Pratibhasika Satyam. Now, what we are seeing here is the entire world with all its names and forms, not there before, not going to be there later. In the middle, it is there. And it is commonly experienced by many of the jivas. Therefore, Namarupas are Vyavaharika Satyam. Experienced, no doubt. Experiential reality. Like all of us experience sunlight and sunset. But that is not the whole truth. That is not the absolute truth. Similarly, all the names and forms are mere Vyavaharika realities. Therefore, whatever may be the name and forms associated with millions of jivas, there are billions of forms, jivas, correct? And the whole world, which is a manifestation of Brahman, has millions of forms. Therefore, in spite of the millions of names and forms, the Jiva and Brahma are not different from each other. The names and forms do not create any difference in Jiva and Brahman because the Nama Rupas are mithya. They don't have an absolute existence of their own. Then what is the absolute reality? Atma, the Jiva, the Sakshi Chaitanya Atma with respect to this Jiva, and Adhishtana Brahman with respect to this entire universe. That is the absolute reality or absolute truth. That's what he said in the 64th verse. Najiva brahmanor bhedaha namna rupena vidyate namno rupasya mithyatvad iti vedantadindimah. So, najiva brahmanor bheda namna rupena vidyate. Just because the jivas have different names and forms, just because the jivas have incidentally are associated with different names and forms, and Brahman as its manifest universe associated with multiple names and forms, you cannot say that there is a jiva Brahma bheda. So, na jiva brahmanor bhedaha. There is no Bheda, Jiva Brahmano Bheda. Between Jiva and Brahman, there is no Bheda. Even though Namna Rupena Vidyate, Namna Rupena Bheda na Vidyate. Jiva Brahmano Namna Rupena Bheda na Vidyate. In spite of various thousands of names and forms associated with jivas and Brahman, there is no bheda. Why? Namno rupasya mithyatvat. Name and form are mithya. Name and form are only vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam. So many times we used this particular Vedantic mantra, part of the Vedantic mantra. That means what? Nama and Rupa are mere additions by words, not real additions. When you say a bangle, it is nothing but gold with an added name and a form and utility. So, though there is a chain and there is a gold, there is no bheda between, a bangle. There is a chain and a bangle. There is no bheda between a chain and a bangle because both of them are gold, and the name and form called as the chain, the name and form called as the bangle are mere verbal additions. Mere verbal additions, addition of a form for the sake of transaction. So, namno rupasya mithyatvat. Because of the mithyatvam of nama rupa. Mithya does not mean it does not exist. Mithya means in spite of seeing it and experiencing it, it is not the absolute reality. What is there is only the karanam. The karyam namarupas are of no significance. They cannot create any bheda between jiva and Brahma. Iti Vedantadindimah. Then, 65th verse also, to some extent, I introduced it in the last session, but since it's related to this, let us see what it is. Nanama rupe niyate sarvatra vyabhicharataha anama rupa sarvasyat iti vedantadindimaha. In the previous verse, the author said, Namno rupasya mithyatvat. Name and form are mithya. So in this verse, the author wants to explain why the name and form are mithya. Okay? And why is it that this name and form are not creating any division or bheda between Jiva and Brahma? So it's almost like an extension of the previous words. So, na nama rupe niyate. Nama, rupa, that is the name, and form are not permanent. Okay? They don't remain the same. For example, today I have a bangle, golden bangle. I have a bangle made of gold. It is there for some time. It has lost its shape. I have got fed up with that particular design. I want to get it changed to something else. So, what do? I take it to a goldsmith and I say, from this particular bangle, you please make something else, whatever I want. So, is Nama Rupa called as the bangle permanent? No. After some time, the same Nama Rupa bangle can become a Nama Rupa ring, it can become. Correct? I may have two bangles which don't match each other. So I take the two bangles, two Nama Rupa separate, and get them made into one thick bangle. The two have become one, or one has become two. So what happens is, Nama Rupe na niyate. Nama Rupa is not constant. For example, a pot is nothing but clay with a name and form. When the pot breaks, where is the Nama Rupa? I can say broken pot. But even in a broken pot, what remains is clay. Correct? So, Nama rupe na niyate. There's no question of a fixed same nama rupa remaining. They don't remain one and the same because sarvatra vyabhicharataha. They are constantly changing. Nama is changing, rupa is changing. Isn't it? Just look at our own bodies. We may have one particular name, yes, but I was an infant some time back, long back. Then I was a girl, a Kumari, then a Taruni, a teenager, then an adult, correct? Then I became something else. Now I'm a senior citizen. Nama has changed, isn't it? Because the body, Nama has changed. Rupa has also changed. So much of change in me, isn't it? How I was, what this Rupa was, what this form was, maybe when it was born, and now what it is totally different, absolutely different. Sarvatra vyabhicharataha. No name and form remains the same. You may say some names and forms remain for a long time, doesn't matter how long. How long? Some names and forms may last for 100 years, 200 years, 500 years, isn't it? But then ultimately, every name and form changes. So, sarvatra vyabhicharata. Everywhere, wherever you see, the names and forms are constantly changing. There's no question of the name and form remaining the same. But Brahman, or that existence, consciousness, Brahmatma, remains without undergoing any change. Why? The Nama Rupa Prapancha is Vikari, Savikari. The Karanam Brahma Atma is Nirvikari. The Nama Rupa Jagat is Sagunam, full of attributes, gunas, the three gunas. Whereas Atma Brahman is Nirgunam. Isn't it? So, Sarvatra Vyabhicharataha, no name and form ever remain the same. Therefore, what is it then, really speaking? When I say what, it's a bangle, what is really a bangle? Nothing but gold. What is this Jiva? Nothing but Atma. What is this entire Jagat in spite of its names and forms? It is nothing but Brahman, Atma Brahman. So in the second line he says, Anama Rupaha Sarvaha Syad. Okay? Anama Rupaha Sarvaha Syad iti Vedantadindimaha. Really speaking, nothing, nobody has got a name and form because we, every one of us, everything that is there is nothing but Brahma Swarupam. Sarvam Brahmamayam Jagat Jiva Brahma. Everything is one and the same. There is no question of any Nama, no question of any Rupa. So Anama Rupa Sarvasya. What is the reality of everything? It is Anama, Arupa, the absolute reality, the Paramarthika Satyam of every name and form is nothing but this Atma Brahman. So this is what he has to say for the, with reference to the Nama and Rupa. So just because there are multiple forms, we cannot say that this is different, this is different. We cannot say that. Then the next verse, the 66th verse, okay. Then are the Jiva and Brahma different from the, what you call as the size or the extent of their existence? For example, Brahma or the entire universe is called as Brahmanda. And this one Jiva body is called as Pindanda. Correct? Brahmanda is so big. Almost it's not infinite, but so big that it cannot it's really beyond our capacity to even think of what Brahmanda is. Millions and millions of kilometers, millions and millions of stars and galaxies and universes in it, entire Brahmanda, the manifest universe and the unmanifest universe, huge with multiple things. Whereas what is this? One small pindanda, isn't it? Compared to the Brahmanda, what is this body mind sense complex? It is one small speck. It's a small speck of matter. What is Brahmanda? Huge matter, huge body of matter. What is Pindanda? A small speck of matter. But in that case, how can Jiva be Brahman? Jiva is with reference to Pindanda, Brahman is with reference to Brahmanda, and Brahmanda is huge in its volume and its size and everything, huge matter principle. This one is a speck of matter principle. Still, how can it be one and the same? Because Atma, Brahman are not matter principles. They are pure spirit. Now, spirit means don't mistake for something else. Spirit means pure consciousness. Atma, Brahman, there is absolutely not an iota of matter. Millions of tons of matter or just a few kgs of matter belong to the anatma upadhi. The chaitanyam, the existence, consciousness behind this 60 kgs of this matter, and as an adhishtanam of there's millions and millions of tons of samashti matter, does not matter. It is one and the same. Matter does not matter at all. Whatever may be the extent of the matter, material that is there in Pindanda and Brahmanda, it does not matter because matter is Vyavaharika Satyam. Whereas Atma Brahma is the Paramarthika Satyam, not in any way affected by matter principle at all. Therefore, this verse, 66th verse, says this. See, why all these are being talked about is there are many people, there are many philosophies also which can find a number of reasons to say that Jiva is different from Brahman. Any number of reasons they will give you. Therefore, Vedanta takes up all the possible reasons that any logician can give to differentiate between Atma and Jiva and Brahman. Jiva Brahma Bheda, to say that there are hundreds of things you can say. That is big, this is small. That is heavy, this is light. Okay? That is multiple, this one, this is less multiple. Whatever you say, Brahmanda, Pindanda difference also does not come in the way of Jiva, Brahma, Abheda, because Brahmanda is matter, Pindanda is matter, and that matter anyway is Namarupa, and that matter anyway is Mithya. Therefore, that consciousness or that Jiva Swarupam and Brahma Swarupam are not different. So he says, Na Jiva Brahmanor Bhedaha Pinda Brahmanda Bhedataha Vyashte Samashte Rekatvad Iti Vedantadindimah. See, even if you take for that matter, the Vyashti Upadhi and Samashti Upadhi, the Vyashti Upadhi is also Panchabhautika. The Samashti Upadhi is also Panchabhautika, correct? But even then, Vyashtehe Samashtehe Ekatvad. In what way Ekatvam? Not in the matter, not in the Upadhi. It can never be the same. A Vyashti Upadhi and Samashti Upadhi can never be the same. Upadhi Bhedas will be there. This Jiva Upadhi and your Upadhi can never be the same. All the Jivas with their Upadhis, the Bheda is always in the Upadhis only in the Upadhis. Attribute matter principle. Similarly, Jiva Brahmanor Bhedaha na Pinda Brahmanda Bhedataha. So Jiva is a small one, puny creature. Brahmanda is one big, powerful thing. No, doesn't matter. However heavy the Brahmanda may be, big the Brahmanda may be, there is no Jiva Brahma Bhedaha based on Pindanda Brahmanda. Pinda Brahmanda means Pindanda Brahmanda. Bheda is not there. Why? Vyashtehe Samashtehe Ekatvat. Vyashtehe Samashtehe Ekatvat. That consciousness, the Adhishtanam of the Vyashti, and that existence consciousness, Adhishtanam of Samashti, Ekataha, Ekatvat. Because of this oneness, there is no Bheda. Okay, so Nama Rupataya, there is no Bheda. Size wise and volume wise also there is no Bheda. Okay, like we say, he's a big man, he's a big person, I'm a small person. In so many ways we say that. A person who is rich, I'm very middle class, lower middle class, a big man, I'm a small person. He's lot of power, I don't have any power. Big man, small man. Physically, that fellow is 100 kgs and 7 foot tall, big man, and I'm only this much. All Upadhi Vedas, nothing else. But then, Jiva Bheda is also Upadhi Bheda. Jiva Brahma Bheda also is only Upadhi Bheda. Jiva Jagat Bheda, Ishvara Jagat Bheda, whatever 5 types of Bhedas that are talked about, you take, the Bheda is only from the point of view of Upadhi, but Vyashtehe, Samashthehe, Ekatvat, Jiva Brahmanoho Bhedaha na vidyate. There is no question of any Bheda here at all. The same Atma who's Sakshi to the Vyashti Jiva is the same Atma which is a Sakshi to the Samashti Prapancha also. Okay, so this is what we have to actually understand what is meant by Jiva Brahma Aikyam. Then let us go to the next verse, the 67th verse, which is what is talked about as the central teaching of Vedanta. Supposing somebody asks you, in 1 or 2 lines, can you explain what is the central teaching of Vedanta? Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. Consciousness is Satyam, names and forms are Mithya, Jiva and Brahma are one consciousness, not different. This is actually the teaching of entire Vedanta. But unfortunately, this teaching is so subtle, so difficult to follow. Therefore, what has happened? Vedanta has to think of 100 ways of putting the same thing across. That is why there are so many Upanishads. The same Mahavakya is talked about in many, many different ways. The same teaching is talked about in many different ways, in different Upanishads, different Prakarana Granthas. They all talk about in very, very different ways. That is what is going to be talked about here also. He says, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha Jivan Muktastu Tadvidvan Iti Vedantadindimah. So, what is moksha? What is a Jivan Mukta? Who is a Sthita Prajna? Who is a Sthira Prajna? Who is a Buddha? Who is a Jnani Bhakta? Who is a Jivan Mukta? All these things. Who is that? Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. Iti Jivan Muktaha tu Tad Vidwan. So, who is a Jivan Mukta? Who is a Vidwan? That means the one who knows, the one who has understood. What has he understood? Clearly he has understood. What? The very teaching of all the Upanishads. What is it? Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. The only reality, the Paramarthika Satyam, one and the only, is this Atma Brahman. Whether it is behind the Vyashti or the Samashti, it does not matter. Vyashti Jiva Upadhi, Samashti Jagat Upadhi are Mithya. Mithya means they are experiential reality. They have a name, they have a form, they have a length, they have a breadth, they have dimensions, they have weight, they have colors, everything they have. But what is it? It is only an experiential reality. Variety is there. Nanatvam is there. Beauty is there. Who says there's no beauty in the universe? Nanatvam. There is so much of beauty, so much of variety. And all this beauty and variety belongs to what? The name and form. It only belongs to the name and form, not to the very content, not to the content consciousness. The content consciousness existence, which we call as adhishtanam, is one and the same, ekameva advitiya atma brahma. Therefore, Brahma Satyam. Brahman means Atma, Brahman, both mean the same. Existence, consciousness. Brahma, that is the ultimate Satyam. Then, is Jagat not Satyam? It is Satyam for the time being, that's all. It is Vyavaharika Satyam, an experiential reality. Jagan Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. Because of the mithyatvam of Namarupa, because of the mithyatvam of the Upadhi, small, big, does not matter. What is understood is that consciousness, that existence which is sarvagatam, that which is the sarva adhishtanam, sarva adharam, is nothing but ekameva advitiya atma brahma satyam jnanam anantam brahma. Therefore Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. The reality, the real, what the truth is, the ultimate truth, that is revealed by Vedanta and Tadvidvan, the one who knows it. How? Not superficially, clearly, not at the time of only the sessions or the Vedanta class, all the time. The one who abides in this truth all the time and does not get affected by the Nama Rupa Upadhi. This is the meaning of the one who has understood. The one who has understood this, the one who has seen this, The one who has clearly perceived this, Bhagwan Krishna calls it Samyak Darshanam. Samyak Darshanam. The one who has the Samyak Darshanam of Jiva Brahma Abheda, who has the Samyak Darshanam of Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, such a Vidwan is called as Jivan Muktaha. That means what? He is a Mukta Purusha. The one who has understood his reality. I am not the body, mind, sense complex. Okay? I don't have this body, mind, sense complex. I am the Sakshi Chaitanya Atma who is the real I, who is the Sakshi, who is the witness consciousness of this entire body, sense, mind, sense complex. And this Atma or consciousness is the one and the only truth behind all the names and forms in the universe. When I know this, then who am I? Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. Do you remember chapter 6? Bhagwan Krishna says, he understands this jnani is who? Sarva Bhuta Atma Bhuta Atma Ahamasmi. Sarva Bhuta, everything that is there. The Atma or the consciousness of Sarva Bhuta, I am that. Sarva Bhutatma Bhutatma. Sarva Bhuta Atma Bhuta Atma. Also, I can take it like that also. So, the one who has understood this is a Jivan Muktaha. He is liberated here and now while living itself. He doesn't have to wait for the body to die to become free. He doesn't have to wait to go to Swarga Loka or to Kailasa Loka or to, Vaikuntha Loka to become free. Here and now, being here and now, this person is free. Therefore, he is called as the Jivan Muktaha. We called him the, a Jnani. In Lord Krishna's language, Jnani Bhaktaha, Buddhaha, okay, Sthiraprajnaha, Sthitaprajnaha. All those, so many names are there, so many names are given here. Then, next verse, the same thing is being talked about in a little, from a little different angle. Anama Rupam Sakalam Sanmayam Chinmayam Priyam Kuto Bheda Kuto Bandha Iti Vedantadindimah. Anama Rupam Sakalam. We see multiple Namarupas, no, everywhere only Namarupas. Really speaking, nothing has a Namarupa. Everything, Sakalam, this entire universe is Anamarupam. And there's really no Namarupa. When Namarupa is Mithya, where is it? It's not there. It's there for a period of time, then it is not there. So, Mithyatvat, Mithyarupatvat, this Namarupa being Mithya, Sakalam Anamarupam. Sakalam. Everything is really nothing but Atma, Brahman with the name and form. Therefore, if you look at it from the other side, from this point of view, from the other side also, what it means is every Nama Rupa actually speaking is Anama. Because Nama Rupa is simply, literally forced upon it. Nothing else. Nama Rupa has only a transactional value, nothing else. Therefore, Sakalam, this whole universe is Anama Rupam. If it is Anama Rupam, what is it? Sanmayam, Chinmayam, Priyam. So this whole world is Satmayam, Sanmayam. That which is nothing but Satyam or Sat. Chinmayam, that which is nothing but Chit or Jnanam only. Priyam, Ananda Swarupam or Anantatvam. So, if you look at the whole universe, like the author said some time back, for a person who has understood this Atma as Aham Sarvam Asmi, for him, he says, everything belongs to me also is right. Nothing belongs to me is also right. Correct? I am that Atma, unaffected by any Nama Rupa, therefore, nothing affects me, nothing belongs to me. One point of this one. So he is not happy, he is not unhappy, happy. Then, since I am the Adhishtanam of everything, since everything exists in me, everything is me, everything belongs to me. That is another way of looking at it. Both are correct, isn't it? Both are correct. I am the Adhishtanam of everything, so everything is in me. I am everything, everything is me, everything is mine. At the same time, I am the Nirlipta Atma Brahma, unaffected by anything. Millions of things are there, but it doesn't matter. So nothing belongs to me. So a jnani is a Jivan Mukta who knows it both ways. So here stays similarly, Anama Rupam Sakalam Sanmayam Chinmayam Priyam Kuto Bhedaha Kuto Bandhaha. Where is the Bheda? Where is the Bandha? What is our Bandha? Comparing and contrasting ourselves with other names and forms. Wanting to become something else like another name and form. Always becoming, wanting. Where is the Bandha? Where is the Bheda? In spite of all the Upadhi Bhedas, there is nothing but Aham Atma, that is the same Atma there. So, Sakalam Sanmayam, Sakalam Chinmayam, Sakalam Priyamayam or Priyam. In that case, Kuto Bhedaha, where is the Bheda? There is no Bheda. Kuto Bandhaha. Why am I crying that I am bound, I am bound, I am bound? I am really not bound. The way I look at myself, I have bound myself. My avidya has bound me. Really speaking, I'm not in bondage. I'm ever muktaha. I'm a siddha purusha. Atma is siddha vastu. But I am identifying myself with something else, and therefore I have this bandha. So my bandha is also not real. It's really not. It's not real at all. Then is it a Vyavaharika Bandha or Pratibhasika Bandha? It's Pratibhasika, not even Vyavaharika. If I'm really bound, everybody will see me as bound. But my bondage is only for me. Oh my, I'm fed up of my life. Everything is binding me. I am bound by anything. I'm so sick of this part. It's Pratibhasika. So Bandha is also a Pratibhasika Satyam for me, not even a Vyavaharika. So Kuto Bhedaha, Kuto Bandhaha iti Vedantadindimah. So there is no Bheda at all. Everything is one and the same. Nothing other than Atma Brahman. Nandantu sadhaka sarve vinashyantu vidushakaha avastha shambhavi mestu prasannostu gurus sada sarve bhavantu sukhinaha sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschit dukkham apnuyat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat.